Here from Srkcycles.com. Maybe a 2011 Honda CBR 600RR. I like these bikes. It's got some good street Michelin 2CTs. These are the ones that are more street than the Pilot Power, but they're great street tires. These are called the Pilot Road, but they're still double compound. These bikes are great. Let's take it for a spin. It does have some underbody lights. The best thing about this bike is it's not lowered. Not that I can tell. It's all pretty much stock. It does have exhaust. See that slack right there? If I can get one of these loose. Yeah. I can't. Sometimes you can turn that out. Anytime you're driving on gravel, you want to favor the rear brake opposed to the front brake like you normally would. Now, I'm a big fan of Honda bikes. The 600 is a great feeling bike. I love the Honda 1000. If I made the choice that my personal track bike is a GSXR 600, so I went with Suzuki. But if I didn't go with Suzuki, I'd be with Honda. And I'm not talking like I'm sponsored or anything like that. I'm just saying I would buy a Honda. I would ride a Honda for the track. Something about them just very smooth, very refined, very reliable. I've used this phrase before. I hop on these Honda bikes and I feel like I've been riding that bike my whole life. Honda's always felt very nimble to me. And they have no problem keeping up with the pack. It's definitely a great bike to ride. It bangs to the gears, no problem. Feels nice and nimble. And it feels, you know, it actually, this is a track bike. This is a bike that's built for speed, built to race. See me, all right. I worry about those old guy drivers, man, pulling out that they're just not gonna see me. But this bike's built for the track. But it actually feels pretty, good on the street. Now I know a lot of you young guys looking to get into riding. You see people, you know, riding on the street, popping wheelies, doing stupid stuff. You want to be like them? Don't be like them. You don't want to be that guy. And if you do want to be that guy, you're not going to be that guy right away. It takes a while to be that guy if you actually live long enough to be that guy. Is there actually a train coming? Oh man, that's my biggest fear, to get hit by one of those trains. Not my biggest fear, but it's a large fear. But he goes pretty slow. It's pretty obvious that he's coming. That is pretty cool. Not sure what I was worried about all those years. This bike handles very well. It's such a blast to drive. And and they're so much more streetable than the leader bikes. But you know what? But if this is your first bike, don't make it your first bike. These bikes are dangerous. I remember the first time riding it was actually an F3. The first time riding an F3, and I really got on the gas. I thought it was the fastest thing in the world. I mean, my mind couldn't comprehend how fast it was going. I was just like tunnel vision, and I remember I just wanted more, and I've been chasing that feeling ever since. But the point I'm making is, you have to gradually step up to that, you know. And if it's your first bike, you have to learn how to ride a bike. You gotta learn how to have throttle response and clutch and stuff like that. If you make little mistakes, these bikes have the power to pop the front end up. You know, if you make a little minor mistake and you dump the clutch too fast, give it too much throttle, that front end pops up. You're not only out of control, but you're out of control and you're moving fast. You know what I mean? And stuff happens real quick. So I do not recommend these bikes for people who are like, oh, I want to get a first-time bike. I want to learn how to ride. You know what I mean? Now, like a 650 Ninja, you know, which has half the horsepower. Would definitely be a great bike. There's tons of other good bikes that are fun. You'll have a blast driving them, but they're less likely to kill you. And those are the types of bikes that I would recommend for people to start on. But this bike's definitely, if you've been riding for a little while and you're at the point where you're gonna step up to something faster, I love the Hondas. It's definitely a great track bike, a great street and track bike. Fun to ride, and I'm not 100% sure, but I know this. The steering dampener is underneath the tank. This is actually it's actually a tank cover, which is great. It's actually a false tank. The tank's underneath it. So if you ever wanted to change the color of this bike, you don't have to paint the tank, just replace the tank cover, which is pretty awesome. I'm like 99% sure of that. I know the 1000s are like that. But I'm pretty sure that this is a electronically controlled steering dampener. I know the 1000s use the HESD system, S-E-S-D, H-E-S-D system. So the higher speed you're going, the more resistance it's giving you, which is a very awesome feature. I'm pretty sure this is what that is. Don't quote me on it. Definitely look it up. Guys, great bike to ride. A lot of fun. You can tell this bike runs good, sounds perfect. And check the walk around video. Alright guys, remember, it's not what you're riding, but where you're going.